In Stanton, Virginia, 177 miles
Let's go.
from Northwest Stadium,
Cool.
Chris Bryant
Good job.
cheers on his favorite athletes,
Okay.
his daughters,
Smoking.
Quinn and Emma, both travel cheerleaders, and their big sister Amaya
Whoa!
is never far from the action.
At the core of who I am is just a family man, a dad.
But every Sunday,
This is the man cave. RG3 gave me his rookie year cleats, the Hoggett bobbleheads, mini helmets. Gotta have Terry McLaurin. Crunch time series. Thank you, Jaden. Thank you, Jaden.
A light up chain.
I wear it to the night games. I've got a little problem with jerseys.
Chris pulls out all the stops
Check out the Breland jersey. It's a throwback right here.
for a different group of players.
Got the Ryan Kerrigan jersey. Brandon Sheriff one still got tags on Deshaun Jackson.
He's the super fan,
My game day bibs
known
are right here.
as Hog Farmer Chris.
What do you do every Sunday while he's off at the game?
Enjoy the peace and quiet.
Hog Farmer Chris is part of a group of season ticket holders that call themselves, I guess, the Hog Farmers.
Why does this team mean so much to you?
But back home in Stanton,
It's just over the years, just the passion that I've built for it.
the Hog Farmers mean so much more than just football.
These are all the first kids that we helped.
It all started 6 years ago when Chris and the other hog farmers met a young girl named Abby. She was fighting cancer, and the hog farmers decided to raise money for her.
It kind of just touched our hearts, so it's like we want to continue to do that, right?
And the Hog Farmers Charitable Foundation was born. Golf tournaments, Halloween events, Christmas drives, $500,000 raised and counting. All of it going to help the families of children suffering from pediatric cancer.
Why pediatric cancer? Why did you choose that?
For multiple reasons. One, my oldest daughter, she went through, she went through some troubles when she was younger. And I know the feeling of going through that.
When their oldest, Amaya, was just 2 years old, she was diagnosed with what's known as neurofibromatosis, commonly known as NF1. It's a rare genetic disorder that causes tumors to grow in the nervous system and skin. Now, the tumors are benign, but Amaya had one growing in her head, putting pressure on her skull. By age 4, the tumor had reached the size of a softball, and doctors had no choice but to operate.
How tough was that time, Camilla?
It was hard. Yeah. Because she struggled.
Chris and his wife Carmela spent 7 months making weekly trips to Duke University Hospital in North Carolina. Doctors inserted a special balloon in Amaya's head to loosen the skin around her skull so they had room to surgically remove the tumor.
I would have to bear hug her. They would put a needle in her head and inflate it with water, because there was a balloon in her head. And every week it would just expand a little more and a little more. So having to do that every week, watching your kids scream, that was tough. And then holding her, that's tough.
Amaya and her parents bravely fought through that pain.
Go home.
And doctors successfully removed the tumor on Amaya's skull. And while she still faces serious medical challenges from her NF1,
They're scraping the floors.
Amaya is expected to live a full life. But don't expect to catch her at a Commanders game anytime soon.
You think it's cool, right?
Sure.
With everything you've been through, where's the hope?
You wake up and you see your kids every day. And they're happy. As long as they're happy, that's nothing else that matters.
Things can be at the lowest, but we'll get through it.
And as you might think, with a super fan like Hog Farmer Chris,
Come down.
it always circles back to the second most important thing in his life.
You'll get through it with your family, you'll get through it with your friends, and be a better person on the other side.
It's trivial, but it kind of sounds like the Washington Commanders.
Right. Oh man, don't even get me started. Don't even get me started on them.
Can you imagine him on vacation next year?
Here I come.
37-year-old Matt McQuestion, cue to his friends, had it all. A loving wife, 3 amazing sons.
Keep it on the track, Grayson.
A dream vacation to Disney.
Where you from? Okay, OH?
And a career he loved as a federal paramedic with the Veterans Affairs Fire Department in Chillicothe. He also worked alongside his dad at the St. Albans Township Fire Department. Family was everything.
Happy birthday to you.
Then, last October, they found out this big-hearted dad's own heart was broken.
I woke up to him standing above me. I thought he was saying bye for work, and he told me that he was going across the street to Mount Carmel because his heart felt really weird.
Doctors were able to get his heart back into rhythm, but
he had mitral valve regurgitation is what it's called, and they called it severe. And they told us that he needed to have surgery as soon as possible. I always joked that he was the healthy one, that he was the one that I would always be like, wow, how's your heart rate so healthy and slow, you know? And it was very surprising that it was happening.
Surgery took place a few weeks later. Kelly was told the procedure would take 4 to 6 hours, but 8 hours went by.
We didn't know why it was taking so long. It was me and his parents there, and we finally asked for an update. They hadn't given us one yet, and that's when we found out that his heart just completely stopped working.
Matt was put on life support. He never regained consciousness.
They kept saying he's so young. He was 37. He should be able to bounce back. We should be able to hopefully see some improvement in his heart function.
But Q didn't bounce back. He would need a heart transplant. For the first time, Kelly had hope.
I work for Lifeline of Ohio, and my job is to go out and inspire people to be donors. So I've seen the good that organ donation can do, and I've seen how it saves people and gives them a second chance at life. And I wanted that for him. I knew that if his heart wasn't working, that there was hope. Because if he could get a heart, it would be okay.
But in December, hope ran out. Matt died Tuesday, December 19th.
We waited 14 days, and we did not get a heart. It's really hard to be so passionate about a cause, about donation, and knowing how many people it's helped. I mean, I work with recipients all the time, and I work with donor families all the time, and I know their journeys and what they've gone through, and I just had so much hope, thinking that that was going to be the story for my family. And it was devastating when it wasn't.
Paramedic McQuestion has completed his tour as a firefighter paramedic in this life. Until we meet him again, Q, rest easy. We have the watch from here. VAPD clear, 1117.
Hundreds of people, including firefighters from all over, turned out to show their respect. Matt's fire helmet and badge given to his sons. Kelly presented with the flag that had draped his coffin. Kelly says going through all of this was devastating, but it also strengthens her resolve that no other family should suffer.
It makes me want others to realize that they have to say yes to being an organ donor. Because if they don't say yes, families lose loved ones. And if more people would have said yes to being an organ donor, my husband could still be here.
Kelly says organ donation has a ripple effect. Not only do you save a person's life, you save their family, their friends, even coworkers.
I never really wanted to be on TV, but I wanted to do this because he deserves to be talked about, and he deserves to not be forgotten. And other families who are waiting deserve to have their loved ones here. So if I can even help save one person by sharing Matt's story, that's what I want to do.
Forest Grove Cemetery holds thousands of graves, and one of them holds a mystery.
The parents, they were awful.
The parents of a little girl just born.
Should have never done it, but what can I say?
Only known as Madison Baby Doe.
That will be on them.
Darby Township trustee Klaus Friesen struggles to understand whenever he passes by and sees the kindness from strangers being worn by time.
Yeah, it was last summer when it all happened.
Last summer, along Bluestem Lane and outside the homes of unsuspecting families, trash workers discovered the body of the newborn girl in their truck. Her umbilical cord was still attached.
I was returning home from an errand, and so came upon the trash truck with the two drivers on the other side of the road and saw the emotional pain that the driver was experiencing as I came in.
Months later, Phil Spencer doesn't think of that June day often.
I haven't for quite a while.
But just a house away sits a reminder the baby girl's always and forever in their hearts.
Apparently there is nobody that knows of anything.
In a village of 4,000 people, neighbors thought the road to answers might be short, with Plain City Police initially saying
somebody knows either their neighbor or a relative was pregnant, and now they're not pregnant any longer, and there's no child to be seen.
But despite a street lined with cameras, no one has explained how the baby wound up here. And DNA testing hasn't identified any relatives. Investigators promise progress has been made, but say disclosing further details could compromise the investigation and undermine what headway has been achieved. We recognize the public concern in this matter and remain focused on achieving justice.
I wouldn't want to be the mom. I wouldn't want to carry the burden and the guilt of something like that and have to hold it as a secret. To me, that would be severe punishment in and of itself.
Maybe somebody else that did it. I have no idea. But I wish the person get caught.
After a year of waiting, the outcome of this mystery may be uncertain. But those who've prayed for Madison Baby Doe, like a township trustee, hope closure may be just around the corner. Reporting in Plain City, Mike McCarthy, ABC 6 News.
At 6 o'clock in the morning, you're lying in bed.
Yeah.
What happens?
I hear a bang, and I see underneath the crack in my door, I see like weapon lights flickering back. And I said, ooh.
Hands up! Get out of here right now!
So I said, hello, hello, hello. I'm Dexter Taylor.
My name is Dexter Taylor. Yo, we know your name. Come on, come on.
Why are you looking for me? Because I still thought they had the wrong house. And then they said, yeah, we're here for you.
Police Department, search warrant!
April 6, 2022, an elite NYPD unit forces its way into Dexter Taylor's home in Bushwick, Brooklyn.
Come out. Keep a gun up. Keep a gun up.
Why are you looking for me?
Maybe it's the rifles you got laying around everywhere.
We're in a search warrant for this location.
Yes, sir. I know it's probably real, but can I see it?
It was an hours-long search of Taylor's packed home, found loaded with ghost guns.
Good day. Nice to see his rifles. They are dressed to kill.
After a week-long trial earlier this year, Taylor, who's 53, was convicted of second-degree criminal possession of a weapon and other charges. He was sentenced to 10 years for making ghost guns. I met him at Coxsackie Correctional Facility, a maximum security prison in upstate New York.
In your home are 13 weapons, yes?
Yeah.
13 guns.
That sounds right.
What kind of guns do we have here?
All of them were either pistols or AR style. Right? I made a handful of Glock style pistols, and I want to say 8 AR style rifles.
These weapons are in the house?
Yes, sir.
They're in a closet? I saw pictures of them. They looked like my suits in the closet.
Yeah,
they're
that's
stored.
right,
They're hanging like on hangers.
That's right, yeah.
You have the right to remain silent. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Taylor is a self-described nerd and tinkerer. He graduated from Stuyvesant High School, studied biomedical engineering for a time at Johns Hopkins University, and later taught himself how to write code. He says he's been fascinated with guns since he was a child. His goal before the arrest, to develop better weapons systems for the police and military.
I have something to offer this industry. Guys like the guys who broke down the door of my apartment, right? Spend a lot of time tuning their weapons. They might be able to use a system like I came up with. I wanted to work with these guys.
How do you think you got on their radar?
I know how I got on their radar. ATF has been driving search warrants around the country by going up to parts manufacturers and saying, run those lists for me.
Taylor had been under surveillance, flagged using his credit card and home address, ordering parts to build weapons. These guns and parts were unlicensed, unregistered, and illegal in New York. Overall, the NYPD says more than 1,000 illegal ghost guns have been recovered since 2022.
Did you have a license to carry a gun in New York City?
I still do have a license. It's called the Second Amendment.
Were your weapons registered?
No such registration is required.
Okay.
So in other words, I know what you're getting at, but you see what I'm getting at.
Okay.
Is that the law of the land supersedes the law of the state.
Do your guns have serial numbers?
No.
So to the people who say, come on, man, you know the law of New York State, you also know the Constitution, you know both of them, but the law is the law, and you're paying the consequences.
The states get to make their own laws, but none of those laws can contravene the Constitution, especially the Bill of Rights.
Didn't fire him, and she never took him out of his house. There's nothing more central to the Second Amendment than the individual right to bear arms in his own home.
Vinu Varghese is Taylor's attorney.
That is the ultimate legal question that's going to go to federal court. We knew we were going to lose the state court. We're going to lose at the mid-level appellate court. We're going to lose that in Albany, in New York State. But then we're going to come right back to Brooklyn in federal court there.
Constitutional law professor Gloria J. Brown Marshall.
The Second Amendment allows for the right to bear arms, but that is not an unlimited, unrestricted right. The right to bear arms, like every right within the Constitution, has to be balanced out with public safety, balanced out with the rights of others.
Taylor has a 16-year-old daughter. He says missing her is one of the hardest parts about being locked up, and says she is proud of his fight.
We watched the body cam video. It ended up very calm.
Yeah.
You know, undoing your shoelaces, put your glasses on your face.
Everyone was calm and respectful, and I played it calmly and respectfully as well.
People that have been convicted of manslaughter, people that have been convicted of molesting children are going to get out earlier than Dexter Taylor, who hasn't harmed anyone.
What do you want ultimately?
I hope that we can compel New York State to abide by the law. Again, the law of the land is clear. I'd like to have my conviction reversed and do what I originally planned, which was to buy some land in New Hampshire somewhere and make a gun lab and go start my second career in the firearms industry.
On a random day in August, this letter addressed to me arrives at ABC 6 News with a mailing label from the office of the Franklin County prosecutor Gary Tyack. I find claims of sexual harassment inside. The author, who addressed themselves as an out-of-options abused advocate, writes she is a female employee of the prosecutor's office and is being harassed by male prosecutors.
14th floor, prosecutor's administrative offices.
How egregious can these cases become?
They can be horrific at times.
The letter tells me it's horrible to come in every day and hear comments about my body and see them laugh when they, quote unquote, accidentally brush up against us. Female interns also complain. Some leave because they can. I cry every night before I have to come into the office.
Not having any meaningful response so that she felt she needed to reach out to you, that's not a good sign of a good employer.
The letter states HR Director Francine Madison was notified and nothing has been done.
What an employer is legally required to do is take prompt and effective action so the harassment stops.
John Marshall is an employment attorney who owns Columbus law firm Marshall, Foreman & Schlein. Fred Gittes manages the Gittes Law Group. Neither is representing anyone from the prosecutor's office. I reached out to them both for their industry expertise to review the little information I had.
If they did an investigation, it would be pretty clear whether this was an accident that happened over and over and over again.
After receiving this anonymous letter, I requested copies of all sexual harassment complaints within the last 5 years, findings, and investigative notes. 3 months later, this is what I uncovered.
I received one complaint made by a legal intern to HR in March of this year.
In April, a disciplinary document targeting a male assistant prosecutor stated female employees reported he stares at their chests and makes them feel uncomfortable by his unwanted attention. HR wrote 6 employees described him as unprofessional, overpowering, demeaning, and intervenes officiously in the personal affairs of others.
I stress that word, personal affairs. So it's not work related.
When does a case like this cross the line and violate federal law?
Where an employer becomes liable for money damages and attorney's fees and even punitive damages depends on whether the harassment is severe or, not and, severe or pervasive.
HR stated its investigation did not substantiate any ill intent. That same month, he received a $3,500 bonus.
In May, his supervisors gave him his own office, but here is the biggest concern for our legal experts.
I received the anonymous letter in August and sent my records request that same month, but this disciplinary document had yet to be signed.
Not to have someone sign a coaching, I don't think that's standard policy.
The disciplined assistant prosecutor did not complete sexual harassment training until September, signed the document in October.
It was given to me in November. Should the county have some concerns right now as to what we see
Based
here?
on the three or four pieces of paper that I've seen, yes.
I consulted my own HR director at ABC6 News, who told me best practices for a sexual harassment investigation include alerting all HR supervisors. According to the organizational chart, the supervisor for Francine Madison is first assistant Ed Leonard. His supervisor, County Prosecutor Gary Tyak. While Prosecutor Tyak politely declined my request for an interview, his PR firm told me the male prosecutor investigated had a sit-down with the HR department in April to discuss the written coaching document. They say it was not signed immediately since the employee was given opportunity to review it. But HR did not realize until my records request 4 months later that it was not signed.
Does that show that the HR was doing any sort of follow-up in this case?
Well, you just used the words, we forgot about it. It is very difficult for anyone to believe they were taking meaningful action to stop this.
While Gary Tyak's team says the process and procedures for an investigation in his office were followed.
There's never an excuse for this kind of behavior if in fact it happened, never.
These experts say if an employer is notified about harassment, the employer fails to take prompt and effective action and the harassment continues, a hostile work environment claim can be filed.
So if I were Shayla Favor, who's been elected to the office, I'd launch a pretty deep investigation into this if I were them.
Bumper to bumper, honking.
Kennedy inbound is an hour 3 today from O'Hare to downtown.
In Chicago,
Frustrating.
nothing seems to flow smoothly Except
All right.
the Chicago River.
No traffic on the river today.
Dan Schreiner has to work downtown today.
Open up the valve here.
But it'll be a workout to get there from Roscoe Village.
We got the beautiful North Branch of the Chicago River right here.
He could easily take the Kennedy,
but this is way more scenic.
But he prefers a kayak. His commute,
not bad, right?
Is the kind a reporter
no
has to see for himself. Dan usually makes this trip solo a few mornings a month.
It's looking perfect. We should run our fishing rods.
It started with a New Year's resolution.
Giving back to Mother Earth and no emissions and try to inspire some people to be healthy. Just thought it was kind of a wacky idea, and my wife said, yeah, you should do this for sure. So,
kind of like those 2 weeks back in 2017 when Dan biked 1,000 miles to win a winter biking contest.
So that's basically like driving your bike to Milwaukee after work every single night. So
all told, how long does this commute typically take you?
Depending on how hot it is, about 3 hours.
That level of patience can even impress a fisherman.
Get out of here. 3 hours? Oh, he got to be crazy.
Some people just like the adventurous route.
So yeah, all those herons apparently nest right around here.
The Chicago River flows full of surprises.
Oh, you got a capsized boat. That's cool.
This one, he'll report to the proper authorities.
First time I've seen that.
But the next unexpected find in the water.
Oh, message in a bottle.
Dan.
Awesome.
Keeps to himself. A smooth ride shouldn't be confused with easy.
So I've already got a callus on my thumb.
Yeah, my cushion's flat, so I think it's pulling to one side too here.
But on the river, rush hour doesn't exist.
You got to really scoot across this intersection quickly.
There's just a little traffic on the water near Wacker Drive.
All right, feeling good.
All Dan has to do before work is squeeze a boat into a backpack.
I'm very interested.
And fish a message out of a bottle.
Do whatever you want to do in life. What would you do if you could not fail? Do that then call me and tell me about it.
Just wait.
Time to get to work.
Till they hear about a kayaker's commute. Noel Brennan, CBS News, Chicago.
32.
They are the usual sounds of construction. But in this neighborhood, it's the aftermath of a tragic fire.
I got up and I seen the ambulance and the police right here.
Antonio Woods lives next door, where he was woken up at 3 a.m.
I jumped out the bed.
by the news of flames he could see from his window.
Bursting up like real bad.
So was it completely engulfed or was it just coming out of that window?
It was coming out the window and it was coming like that stuff right there was melting.
911 was emergency.
Woods didn't know he had neighbors,
There's still a baby inside.
let alone a family.
Did you say there's a baby inside?
I heard a woman crying, but I did not know it was kids in that house.
How old is the baby?
Maybe he's 3.
Fire officials tell us the mother rescued 3 of her kids but was unable to find her last child.
Majority of the family, 3 of the children were sleeping in the front room. The mother was upstairs in her bedroom, and the deceased 3-year-old was found upstairs under the bed, under the mother's bed in the upstairs bedroom.
Once they found the child, Chief D'Amico says they did every life-saving intervention they could. But sadly, the 3-year-old didn't survive.
It was a combination of smoke inhalation and heat exposure.
The rest of the family is being monitored and the cause of the fire investigated.
We saw heavy flames coming out of the rear of the structure, which would be a back porch and a kitchen area.
While for Woods,
It's hard. You know, it's real hard because, like I said, I did not know anyone was in there.
he knows the pain of a mother's loss.
I lost my brother 8 years ago. You know, so I know how it feels to lose a family member or someone that close.
So though the fire is out,
It's a memory. A child was there, you know. A child was in that house. They did not make it out.
it's a moment he'll never forget.
A piece of her puzzle is missing.
Reporting in Sandusky,
So it's not going to be the same.
Adina Busada,
It's tragedy, man.
News 5.